Hey everybody, how you doing? UPS PVD Dave here. Response to my UPS PVD series here up on YouTube has been fantastic. Thank you very much for watching. I think it's great there's been so much interest in the UPS PVD peak season job. I think it's a great gig. My 2 years with them and hopefully going into my third year has been nothing but positive. If you've gone through the orientation training modules, at the end a gal is going over a review of your training and she mentions that over 70% of UPS PVDs return the next season. I think that's a pretty good indicator. Alright, let's get right into it. I'm going to start off with a question I got from a viewer who asked, can you use a rental car as a UPS PVD? As I mentioned in my other video, I put a call into Enterprise Rent-A-Car, got back with them the other day, and I talked to a different person, but anyway, he said yes, absolutely. We have no problem with how you use the car. He said, and we have unlimited mileage, so that's not a factor. So that is Enterprise Rent-A-Car in central Iowa, Ames, Iowa. You know, different markets, different rental car companies, even the same rental car in a different city may be different. You'll have to check into this on your own. The Enterprise Rent-A-Car representative told me, he said the only thing that he could see that could be a problem is the actual company that you're working for. I think with DoorDash they don't have any problems. I don't know about the other gig deliveries. So if you're questioning whether or not to use a rental car versus your car for UPS Peak Season PVD 2021, step one, check with your hub. See if it's okay in your market. Step two would be contact your local rent-a-car companies and tell them what you plan to do with the rental. Be upfront, don't play any games, and see what they say. Based on what my local Enterprise Rent-A-Car guy said, that they don't have any issues with it, unlimited mileage, that suggests to me that I would not need to transfer over my commercial driver vehicle insurance policy to that rental car. If Enterprise is okay with it, then standard insurance should apply. They usually offer something. It's my understanding. Don't take the extra. But anyway, sorry about that, Enterprise. But again, be upfront with everybody with what you intend to do. Cover your butt. Then you're going to have to run the numbers. You know, you are paying for gas. You will be getting paid mileage from UPS, but you've got the rental car expenses right off the top. After you figure that, is it worth your time? I read on a DoorDash blog, he put that right to the test there, and he said the only reason he could see anybody renting a car to do DoorDash is because they don't have a car. So, you know, it's a part-time, quarter-time, you know, pocket money gig. It might work out that way. Same thing with UPS PVD. If you've got a little tiny Prius, but you'd like to make a little bit of money over this holiday season, you know, renting a larger four-door sedan or even an SUV, crunch the numbers, see where it takes you. Next, let's just jump right into the work schedule. Always questions and comments about this and always worth repeating. How do I get notified when they need me to drive? UPS uses a text message system that will originate from your actual hub every day telling you that they need you and when to show up to the hub or when to meet your driver to pick up your packages. 2019, my first year as a UPS PVD, they texted me every morning, I think it was around 7:30 to 8 a.m. and said, hey, we're ready for you at 10:30 a.m. That was the usual start time at my hub. Last year in 2020, and I'm going to assume this year in 2021, with the package flow at my hub, I will just show up on a regular basis, usually again around 10 or 10:30. If there's a snafu or something and it gets us backed up, they were real good about getting a hold of us and saying, hey, don't come in until 11 today. My hub supervisor going into 2 years here now has a good hands-on approach and is always there for questions and communication. There were a couple times last year when we knew we'd have a really large Monday run, so he would put it to us PVDs and even the regular drivers. He would ask if we wanted to come in on Saturday, run about a third or a half of a route, and then have a light Monday, or just come in on Monday and have a really heavy day. I think the one time I took the option to split it up and I ran Saturday for about 4 hours and then had a pretty easy Monday. Can't say this enough, every marker will be different, every hub supervisor will be different, and it'll all depend on your package count. Viewer Chris asked, what would happen if you had a life schedule that was set? You know, say you can't work beyond 5 or 5:30 p.m. Here in lazy rural Iowa, my supervisor, again, can't say it enough, Mark is a fantastic guy. He really worked with the PVDs. Here's the deal, they need you. They're willing to accommodate you within reason. Had a couple PVDs last year that couldn't get there until about 11:30, roughly an hour past the time that we were able to start. Not a problem, she couldn't get away. Had another guy that just could not work beyond 7 p.m., not a problem. They adjusted the package load, yada yada, we worked around it. They were very accommodating to us within reason. Last year, we had an active duty Army troop personnel work for us for about 3 weeks. He was home on leave, single guy, nice guy, just wanted to make a little bit of extra scratch. And he could only work for us for a 3-week period. We took him on willingly. He eased the pressure on my town between me and my other 2 drivers during the big rush, which is why I didn't get 12 hours last year, but 7, per day average or whatever. And you know what? This old guy will take 7 over 12 anytime. I hate running at night. So other than the Saturdays that they gave us the option of working to ease the package load on the following Monday, I do not believe there was any scheduled Saturdays in my market here for the last 2 years. Now, part of that is weather. Nationwide, we have not been having the winter weather that we're used to overall. Yeah, some of you may have gotten hammered here and there, but there has not been major airline travel disruptions, and that also affects the UPS planes up in the air. And as I mentioned before, at my hub in central Iowa for the past 2 years, every package has been delivered on the day it was scheduled. There was no trucks returning back to the hub because of horrible weather. I kind of pay attention to the nationwide weather and see what's happening, 1,000 miles from me. That may affect my package count in a day or 2. Overtime is paid after each individual day's 8th hour. So if you were to work a 10-hour shift on Monday, and then the following day's hours do not add up to a number greater than 40, you still have 2 hours of overtime from that Monday. And now to end this segment on a Debbie Downer, we do not get holiday pay. We are full-blown temporary UPS employees, and most companies have a mandatory waiting period, a certain number of days before you can accrue holiday pay. We don't meet that criteria, so no, we don't get holiday pay. Take Thanksgiving, for example. We had that Thursday off and then went right back to work on Friday. But again, let them know up front if you're going to be out of town for the weekend and you need that Friday off too. Just let them know. Like I said, they're usually pretty accommodating. We did work Christmas Eve day, but as I recall from the past 2 years, that was actually a pretty light day. Breaks and lunch. There are opportunities for breaks and lunch, but in my hub, we didn't take any breaks. Most of us had to return to the hub 2 or 3 times due to the package count. We just couldn't get the whole day's run in the vehicle in one load there. So most of us used the drive back to the hub as our break or lunch, and that's what I did. I just grabbed a slice of pizza or a burger, and I live 8 miles from the hub, so as I drove back to the hub for my subsequent loads, that's when I, quote, took my breaks and had my lunch. But if you need to take a real lunch or need to have a real break, you do that within the app. The duration of peak seasonal PVD usually starts around November 1st and then ends January 15th. But as I've said before, we've had some in there that said I can only work this amount of time, and it's all due to the package count. We had some, that said, hey, after Christmas I'm done. We had guys like me saying, run me as long as you can. As of a couple days ago, last I heard is we were intending on hiring about 15 PVDs, the same as we had last year, but so far the count was only 7 or 8 that had actually applied. So if you're in the central Iowa Ames area and this is something that you think you might want to get into, head on over to jobs-ups.com. Again, to show how accommodating UPS is, I've gathered this from my viewer comments over the last couple years. Okay, like I said, my example, I live about 8 miles away from the hub. I drive to the hub and I pick up the packages there. My hub is really small. It's a 10 truck bay setup that they shoehorn 20 trucks into. We are very limited for space. Usually when I show up, my packages are being laid out by the warehouse workers in the bays now that the trucks are gone, and then I can work out of the bay. Sometimes it's been packed into a box truck there on site that I have to dig through and get it. That's kind of a hassle. But anyway, I have had a viewers report. For example, Gorn Outdoors said, I start November 10th in Wisconsin. I live quite a ways from the hub, but I am near a driver's early route, so he's going to drop my packages at my garage daily. That's really cool. In fact, my hub offered to stage a trailer over here in my town, but I thought that would just delay me. They'd have to load the trailer, get it over here. I'd have to help unload it. It's just going to be more quick and efficient for me to get to the hub every day. And they said, fine, whatever you want. Some PVD drivers may meet up with their local driver and then transfer directly from the big brown truck down to their car, maybe 1 or 2 times a day. If they're using the UPS phone, they get the phone from the driver, then hand it off in the evening when they're all said and done. Like I said, they're very accommodating. Tell them what you need, what you would like to do. They may even offer it up. Well, hey, do you have a garage? We'll bring it to your garage. As you know, I got a full-size SUV Expedition, And when I lay down the 2 back rows of seats, man, I've got a nice cargo area to work out. But I've seen people do this with 4-door sedans, minivans, and pickup trucks with lockable covers. Some of the guys even have that slide-out bed in the pickup truck. That makes it really cool. If you're using a minivan, if you can remove the seats, that would be the best case scenario. But like I've said, I've even seen guys do this in 4-door sedans. So what do you do about the package sizes? The computer algorithm that splits off our PVD routes from the regular routes don't know the size of the vehicle, so the package size can run the gamut from a postcard up to a 55-gallon barrel. And yes, I have delivered a 55-gallon barrel drum. I've delivered 4 off-road tires, exhaust systems, you name it. If something like that comes down the conveyor or it's stacked there for you and you just can't fit it in your car, let your supervisor know. They'll hand it off to somebody else. In my case, that's usually me because I got the full-size Ford SUV. His name is Speedwagon and he takes it all on. Package count, man, that can just run the entire gamut. Again, it all depends on the package flow at the hub each day and all that. I have seen Tuesdays are usually pretty heavy in package count. You know, people have been burning up the credit card on Saturday and Sunday. 2 or 3 day delivery, there you go, Tuesday. Along that lines, I've generally found that Fridays are kind of easy, which is really nice leading into the weekend. With that, we're going to call it a wrap on the first question and answer video for UPS PVD Peak Season 2021. Keep those comments and questions coming. And as always, guys and gals, that's all I've got for you today. Hopefully you can take something from this video and put it to use for yourself. Thanks for coming along for the ride and hope to see you next time.